Krysta.
Your loco Sirens here for our weekly comic review live and in person. Good to see everybody. I hope you're having a good and safe and dry Memorial Day weekend where we are here in Loudoun County, Virginia. It has been raining nonstop for what
So
feels
much
like
rain.
days, and we're ready for it to end, but it's a holiday weekend, and we are here to talk about the comics that came out on the 20th. And it was a big week, especially for DC. Actually, I'm going to say it was for me it was a big Marvel week because I had a whole like 4 titles come out this week. The majority of what I read for Marvel came out this past week. Only one of them made my top 5, but honorable mentions to the rest. And but it was a huge week this week because of Absolute Green Arrow #1, and it is on both of our lists, so I don't feel bad about talking about it. First and foremost, plus it's A, and we both always usually start with DC, so I feel like we can totally 100% start there. Wow, just wow. I'm not sure I agree with John what he was saying at the store on Wednesday, which we'll backtrack and let you all know. He said he thinks that we don't know who the Green Arrow is yet. So that's not a spoiler. We don't know, but his opinion is that it's a woman under the hood, the green hood, and I'm not sure. I thought it might be Diane, Black Canary, but
Then you read it.
not in this iteration, at least. I mean, she's in it, but it's definitely not her. Like once I started to read it, I was like, definitely not her. So that's the question that we're all left with. Who is it? Because Oliver Queen was killed in Absolute Evil. Which was a little one shot that they did with all the villains of all of the Absolute universe at the time. What was it, Krysta? Hey, Chad. Good to see you.
Hey, Chad.
Chad, thank you for joining us. Love to have you. Who was in that Absolute Evil? It was Ra's al Ghul for Superman.
Yeah.
Jack Grimm for Absolute Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The blonde lady, and she's, I want to say, Veronica Gale. Fuzzy Ewok, good to see you too. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you.
Honestly, it's been
oh my
amazing.
gosh, it's Veronica something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And that's Wonder Woman. And then there were a couple others that were for Absolute Green Arrow and the bad guy from Absolute Martian Manhunter. At the time, those were the only ones out. Absolute
Correct.
Flash, Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Martian Manhunter. Those 5 were they've expanded that since then, but those 5 were the key. And they established the Justice League in the Absolute universe, the bad guys. So, but in the process of that comic, Oliver Queen is killed. Spoiler alert, if you didn't want to hear it. Yes, true, Fuzzy Ewok. Yep, you're right. A comic book character was in it 100%. Several, as a matter of fact.
Veronica
Deathstroke was in it. Absolute Deathstroke was in it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Hawkman, right?
Yes. Hawkman, you're absolutely
one
right.
Who has Oliver on his shoulder at the very end.
Yep.
Spoiler.
So anyway, back to Absolute Green Arrow. We know it's not Oliver Queen. We know it's not Diane Lance as Black Canary being Green Arrow. It's not that either. So I'm very invested. Just in one comic, I was invested.
From the like preview, I thought it may have been Roy.
Oh, Roy Harper?
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
going in, but now that I've read it, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know." I like the idea of because this Green Arrow is savage. This is such a dark horror. Like they're just for violence. It's so good. So it could be a woman because their kills are very passionate.
Yes.
And with purpose.
And with purpose.
So it very much could be a woman.
It could be a woman. I am very interested to see who it ends up being. And I hope they don't tell us. Build it up a little bit. Yes. Leave the mystery there. Build it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let Dinah keep having to struggle with what she has to do before it's and follow. Then I don't want to give a little too much away of the story, but yeah, give us some time. Which they seem to be. This whole universe seems to be a very slow build. But not how do you not so glacial slow, right? But slow enough to keep us invested and keep the mystery in the buildup.
It's that slow burn.
Yes, because they've given us good arcs too. The arcs don't have to be super long. Some of them have only been 1 or 2 issues. Some of them have been 3 or 4. But keep it.
This is gonna be a mini series. This is only gonna not be an ongoing.
Yes, this is like the Catwoman. It's 6 issues, correct? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's gonna be short, but they said, I read the other day that the creative team said that they wrote it as a mini series with the hope that if it does really well, they would like to continue. But because we talked about last week how the pre-orders for this actually exceeded Absolute Batman #1.
Yeah.
So they have high hopes, but you can't, Rob and I were talking about this in the shop the other day, that you can't judge a series by the #1. You judge a series by the sales of #2. Because everyone should come out to get #1, but how many people are going to come for 2 and for 3?
And for 3, right? Yeah. How many have dropped off by 3?
Exactly.
Right? How many want it added to their subscription list? And how do those subscription numbers look as the series is ongoing? Right? So, and I would think if they stay strong numbers, if they continue to say strong numbers for all 6, I could bet, given, I hate to say it on a live broadcast, but given the greed of corporate America, right, of which DC is part of Warner Brothers Discovery, right, and ultimately Warner Brothers Discovery are the decision makers on what makes money and what doesn't make money and what they're going to continue to support financially, right? So, and I agree, Fuzzy Waka's story should definitely have you hooked by 2 or 3. If it doesn't hook you in 1, right? If it hooks you in 1, you have to stay invested through 2 and 3, right? I actually have an example of when that doesn't happen, which was with this last Dark Souls little 4 issue, right? Issue 1 came out super strong, was great. Issue 2 was like, eh. Issue 3 was not quite eh, but it wasn't, wow, that was really good either.
It wasn't what you wanted.
Exactly. But you know me, I'm anal. I knew it was only 4, so I'm getting 4. But 4, the thing that wrapped it all up, was better than 2 or 3, but never matched either in art, story, or enthusiasm in writing, from that first issue. So that's an example of how it doesn't work. Right now, I am somebody who, okay, I want all 4 because I know it's only 4. But if it had been going beyond 4, I never would have gotten it beyond 2.
Well,
right?
a lot of stories, unfortunately, and I also hate to say this, online, but a lot of stories sometimes can be better to be read in trade than in issues. Because, not every single issue is going to be a winner, but you can have an amazing story, but it's all about the journey when it comes to the issues. So the issues may be up and down. It's almost like a TV show that has like a filler episode. So it just may not be what you wanted, or just kind of like, all right, I get it. That was not interesting.
But that issue doesn't bother you when you're reading it in a trade.
Exactly.
Because you're getting the whole story right there.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think helps a lot. Right. Because some of these comics, most come out monthly, but some of them it's bi-monthly. Some of them it's 3, 4. I mean, don't even get me started on how long we've been waiting for the final Hush 2 163. Over a year now we're waiting for one issue.
When that comes out?
No, it comes out this Wednesday, doesn't it? Oh,
comes out in a few days.
Yes, but I feel like I have to go back and read all the rest.
Yeah, because it's been like a
I
year.
don't even remember what's happening. Right? That's a whole nother discussion. But anyway, there are times, for another good example, the Monster Universe that Image is doing.
Yeah.
I would never stay invested in those through the 4, 5, 6 issues, whatever they are.
Yeah, they're 4.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed getting them in the trade and reading it all at once. I've gotten them all. And you guys know, I'm like, yeah, I don't want the comics, but as soon as the next trade comes, what is it? It's Phantom, right?
Yeah, we're on Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. So when you guys know when the trade comes out for Phantom, to just put it in my box. Oh, yeah. I mean, because that's the way I am with those kind of comics. So I do think that there is an audience that is, give it to me all at once. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait the month. I want to wait. I'll wait for the trade and then read it all at once.
Some stories just like that. Some stories are just kind of easier to read, like all in one go, because you can understand the story that they're trying to tell. And
True. Fuzzy, I agree. I mean, I'm one of those people, Krysta will tell you, I'm one of those people that I am there on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, waiting for them to unlock the doors, because I love knowing that I'm there to see it, right when it's published. And I look forward to those monthly stories for the most part, but I do have those few things that I like to read that I would rather wait for the trade. So I think it's a combination from what Fuzzy Ewok is saying. So like he's saying that it's a fun surprise when the comics come home and that he never knows what's coming. But I always look to see kind of what's coming out the next week, just so I have an idea what I'm coming home with ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I can look at the variants. If it isn't something that I necessarily pre-ordered, I'm trying to get better about pre-ordering whatever I want, whether it's an extra copy, whatever variants, blah, blah, blah. So that I know that Rob is getting that right, before he even places the order. But there are other things that, some of the newer stuff, something that might have come out new this month, or, some new story, whatever Archie might be doing. I always pop over to the all ages section to see if there's anything by Josie or, something interesting from Archie. And that I look forward to that. Because you don't necessarily know. Some of them I've noticed on the online sites, some of them only do select publishers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They only tell you select publishers of what's coming out. So, yeah, I guess I have an idea. Oh, well, that might have a variant that because Marvel doesn't always show its variants. That's like it'll list them, but it doesn't show you what they look like. And I don't want to. I'm not unless it's like somebody Lotte, Chew. Do you know what I mean?
That are all DC artists,
right?
mostly.
Well, Lotte Lyrics right now is doing a lot of Marvel covers because she's doing the covers for Sorcerer Supreme, and David Nakayama does both.
Yeah,
Marvel and DC. But I want to see him first because I don't necessarily buy all of them. You know, it might be good. It might be like, oh, I like it, but it's not. I don't like it enough to spend the extra $1.
No, Marvel is oh my god, they've been driving me insane as well on my side as well. From the because Rob who does the ordering, but I do a lot of like I put in a lot of people's pre-orders and I pre-order myself. I pre-order a lot of covers.
Right.
And it's frustrating because even on our side we can't see because it'll be either artist, like TBA, or it just won't have the image ready.
It just shows the image and it just shows like the DC or the Marvel or whatever label, and it's all blacked out with a TBD.
Yeah. And I'm like, man.
And sometimes they'll show you something, but it'll say on the bottom, not final art.
Yeah.
So you don't even know if you're going to actually get that, which is irritating.
A lot of trust the process.
Yeah.
At least if they have like the artist, like I at least will have an idea of what it's gonna be, like the style at least. But
exactly.
A lot of times they won't even have that, which can be
100%. 100%.
But Marvel keeps you guessing.
They do. They like to keep you guessing. They don't put it on the label like DC does. It's so nice because right there, it's right there. You know who it is.
Exactly.
So that leaves us moving right into our top 10. I'm going to go ahead and go first this week because you have a showcase, correct?
I do.
Yes. So we're going to let you go first. And, I have something that's not here that I do want to do as an honorable mention. I'm going to move us to that little bigger, smaller. And I don't have it to show you. I don't know if you got it or if you have it, which you could show it when you're Odin #1. It's not in my top 5, but it's right up there. It deserves an honorable mention. It was very, very, very good. I immediately read it because my son and his dad are both Odinists. So I was like, you have to read, especially my son, right? You have to read this. So it's sitting downstairs on the pool table waiting for him to read it. And then John saw the cover and was like, oh, I want to read that. Now, he's not into a whole lot of gore and blood and all that kind of stuff. And real, like what I would say slasher movie style violence, right? So I had to give him a trigger warning. I was like, there are going to be parts of this comic that you love. There's going to be other parts of the comic that you're going to struggle to get through. But he's sitting there waiting for Will to finish reading it. And he thinks John, without even reading it, is like, I'm pretty sure I want you to add that to your list. And I was like, okay. If you decide you like it, no problem. I was probably going to add it anyway for myself.
Yeah.
So if he decides he likes it, I'll probably be taking home too, like I'm supposed to be doing with Daredevil. Anyway, moving right into after that honorable mention, like I said, don't have the cover to show, but it was really, really, really good. Odin #1. I believe it was by Image Comics. Definitely check it out if you like kind of, well, an undercover reporter goes undercover to investigate the Gen Z toxic subculture of America, and the group, they think they're Odinists. She calls them Nazis. They are definitely white supremacists, but they are also Odinists. She is a true Odinist, however, not any of those other bad things. and they decide to go on a trip to experience what it's like to be in the true fatherland as it was back when, it was snowy and everybody was in the north and worshiping Odin. And things go horribly wrong. And I will leave it at that. That's not really any spoilers. You can get most of that from the back of the comic. Go check it out. All right, my top 5. Absolute Green Arrow. This is on both of our lists. We've already discussed it. I don't have to go any further than what we've already talked about. Everything in the Absolute universe is pretty darn good. I've heard Martian Manhunter is a little weird. I'm not reading that, but I'm reading Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, now Green Arrow, and next month I'll be reading Catwoman. And they are all definitely 5-star comics. They are the whole universe created by Darkseid with Omega Energy is just phenomenal. It's definitely the best thing one of the best things happening in comics across publishers right now, in my opinion. Second was Catwoman 87. This is the Scott Forbes variant. I really love this variant. This story is just getting so good. So somebody's out to get Selena, and this was so reminiscent of my soap opera. So the Black Mask had a mask made of Selena's face. And I say that's reminiscent of my soap opera because if anybody knows Days of Our Lives, Dr. Rolf, who is the mad scientist that works for the Demera family, has been making masks of residents of Salem for 15 years. And one family member of the Demera family will pretend to be somebody else, and they'll put the mask on, and all of a sudden the other actress will be playing. It's crazy. It was like that. So it's a really good issue. It involves Holly and Maggie and has callbacks to when Black Mask tortured Maggie's husband and back in the Ed Brubaker days. It definitely, if you're not reading Catwoman, you should be. I should save this for last, but we are going to be talking about it for probably a good portion of the show after we do our comics. So Sirens, number 4, Love Hurts, the final connecting cover by the connecting covers is the one by Lotte, correct? Yeah. I love this Catwoman, and that I've been wondering what the black that is holding them all together was. Thinking it was the microphone. I thought it was going to be microphone cord.
That makes sense.
From Black Canary. I love that it's the whip. It's definitely number 1 on my top 5 of comics of the week. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. The rest I'll say when we talk about it later.
Okay.
Next up is an independent, Nectar. I gotta strategically place my finger over the this is the variant by Suspiria.
Yep.
And this is an amazing cover. This issue, this is number 3. Zombie killer butterflies. Now we have the town going crazy where these butterflies are killing people. They make you dance, and basically until your body melts from the inside out. And now the local Christian churches are getting involved. It had so much happening in this Actually, you know what, Krysta, I'm just gonna leave us like that.
Okay.
Since it's just the two of us. I'm gonna let Krysta, this is also on her list, I'm gonna let her take it from there when she talks about it. But this was the best issue so far. All three have been incredible, but this one topped, this number 3 topped 1 and 2.
Oh my
God. Let's see here. Number 4 for me. None of these were in any particular order. As I said, Sirens, though, was definitely my number 1. I think I would have put this close. It's number 2 for me, even though I'm showing it as number 4. Wonder Woman number 33. We are still in the Wonder Wars. Steve Trevor comes back in this one. And Trinity's reunited with her dad. There is a huge battle to get to the underworld, and a huge battle with Chiron. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Best scene in the whole comic. Hold on, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I just want to show 2 pages because I was so respected, both Tom King and the artists, for doing this. So there is Sybaris, 3-headed dog, right? You see what she's saying there?
No, what does it say?
Like, down.
Down.
Okay, but what's better? Now, I'm not going to tell them you don't really need to see the text because it's all like narrative, but just look at the, so you start here and then there and then there, and it's good boy.
So cute.
And the dog just down on its belly and she's petting it. It was really, really, really good. This story is interesting. The matriarch and Diana are so evenly matched. I'm really gonna be interested to see. He keeps doing these time shifts. What's happening now? What happened 20 years ago? What's happening? Gonna happen in 20 years? So it's a little confusing to follow, but good enough that you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we have, I didn't bother to take this one out of the plastic, Rogue 5, great cover. He did, David Nakayama, he did all of the covers, the A covers for Rogue, Shadows of Tomorrow. It's the conclusion. I picked this. So 4 different Marvel comics came out this week. Jessica Jones, Alias number 3, Storm number 4, not Storm number 4, Sorcerer Supreme number 6, Moonstar number 3, and then this Rogue. They were all really good. What made me pick Rogue? And I really have to give a shout out to Erica Schultz. I know she's probably not watching us, but even so, she really gave us a really honest story here. I'm gonna kind of spoil, so if you don't want to listen. Throughout this whole thing, Rogue had a flash of memory about when she was part of the mutant evil. Is it Brotherhood of Evil Mutants? Is that how you pronounce it? Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And during that time, she was not a nice person. And in X-Men 97, in the comics, even in I guess the TV show, right? Mm-hmm. She's spent all of her time since becoming an X-Men kind of being a hero to make up for that past. Because she was really not a nice person. And did some really evil stuff when she was part of the Brotherhood. So this whole story has been about her having a flashback about a guy in a wheelchair. And she knows him, but she can't remember why. And he sees her and immediately disappears. So she spent these whole 5 issues trying to figure out who he is. She's gone to her mother, Mystique and Destiny, her mothers. She's gone to Serpentine, who was with her when it happened. She's gone to Remy. She's gone to all these people trying to figure it out. So she finally gets her memory back with the help of, I forget which mutant it is, but they have a memory ability. So they help her get the memory back. And she realizes that she's the person who put the guy in the wheelchair. So she goes, her powers are acting all funky. And she thinks that maybe if she makes amends, her powers will stop acting so funky. So she tracks this guy down to make amends. And this whole issue was this her there trying to Fuzzy Ewok, yeah, I think everybody's a little biased when it comes to it.
Your house is definitely biased.
Definitely. She really sincerely wants to make amends, wants to help. He is carrying so much anger and resentment. His wife is carrying anger and resentment, and they just are not even willing to listen to her. And she finally gives up and she leaves. Now, she makes a couple of really nice gestures anonymously through the mail at the very end, like to ease her own conscience, I guess, monetary, things anonymously. But what I found, what made me put this in my top 10 was something that the guy's wife, James Staunton was his name throughout this thing. And what was he said, it's the last panel between the husband and wife. And he's like, she said she wanted me to forgive her. And that's all he said. And the wife looks at him and she said, that's okay. And it's okay if you don't want to. And I thought, that is so true. And it's so realistic, because comics, novels, movies, fairy tales, our TV shows, everybody wants you to wrap up everything in a nice, pretty bow, happily ever after. And life doesn't work that way, right? Sometimes you can't make amends for what you did to somebody else. They don't have the capacity to forgive. They say forgiveness is divine. Maybe it is. We as humans are not divine. And there are some things that are unforgivable to some people. And that's okay. That's completely okay. So it struck me that Erica chose to end the story that way. Like, and even Remy, like, she was struggling with that, right?
Yeah.
Was really struggling with that. They wouldn't let her make amends and they wouldn't forgive her. And Remy's like, you got to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
They have to do what they have to do. The only thing you can do is forgive yourself. You've done what you could.
Yeah.
And stop beating yourself up.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, because at the end of the day, the only one who's hurting her was herself. So if you don't, the only one who's holding you back and punishing you is yourself. And
no, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
Rogue is such a beautiful, passionate character, and so when she realized what had happened, it destroyed her, and she needed to fix and right the wrong. But at the end of the day, it's only what people allow you to do, and if they're not allowing you to do, you move on.
She so struggled with. They saw her as a monster today. Now they saw her still as a monster and didn't want to hear so what that you've done, that you're considered a hero now. You're never going to be a hero to us. You're always going to be the villain to us. Right. And anyway, my point to this whole tangent was that I really respect Erica Schultz for ending it that way, for not wrapping it up in a pretty bow and having Rogue get her forgiveness and be able to just brush it off and move forward. Right. I would like to see whatever they're going to, this is of course the end, but whatever they're going to show, whatever she does afterwards in the X-Men that she's going to be in. I hope she continues to have that struggle with, some people still feel I'm a villain, even though I've done all this work. Fuzzy Ewok, it's really true. Life breaks free. Life expands to new territories, painfully, perhaps even dangerously. But oh, life finds a way. And it really, 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 that is so true. And ultimately, once you've acknowledged what you've done, like if you hurt somebody, you hurt their feelings, you hurt them physically, whatever, once you have to forgive yourself as much as you need to make amends with them. The amends, though, is still for you, right? It might let them know that you feel sorry for what you did, but you're still kind of doing it to show them and yourself, I'm a better person now.
Did you ever watch the Falcon the Winter Soldier TV show?
Yes.
So there's a great moment between Bucky and Sam when they're just kind of throwing the shield back and forth, and they're kind of having like a therapy session.
Yes, I remember it.
Sam even talked.
Oh no, don't you dare leave me in the middle of that statement.
They're like, oh, you're in. And he's like, well, I'm trying to make amends. And he's like, you're not getting amends, you're getting revenge. What you're doing isn't helping other people. What you're doing is trying to make yourself feel better. What you need to do is to make them feel better. And if you can't make them feel better, you need to find a way to live with it yourself.
Exactly.
So,
because you're not ever going to make everybody be able to feel better. You're just not.
Not everyone's gonna like you, is gonna like love you. That's the thing. At the end of the day, not everyone's gonna like you, not everyone's gonna love you, but the only person that you need to make like and love you is yourself. 100%. So the day, that's the only person you're with 24/7 is yourself. And if you can't like and love yourself, how is someone else going to?
Exactly. Well, and that says it in a nutshell, Krysta. That is, I think, the biggest thing I learned in therapy, years of therapy, was that it's all about figuring out how to live with the things that you can't change. It's so similar to the AA creed. You know what I mean? You have to accept the flaws in yourself that are there, that you don't have the ability to change. You need to change the things that you do have the ability, or at least acknowledge, like I talk over people, and I'm loud, and I acknowledge that. And when I do things like that, and I realize that after the fact, I always own up to what I did. Like I told you on Wednesday, I talked over you on when we were talking about the Bernstein Bears with Rob. And I didn't acknowledge that the 90s kids read that too, right? But I own that. On Wednesday, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean. I did hear you say it. I didn't mean to talk over you. But I think that's a sign of growth, that you realize that, and I'm not responsible in the long run. I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. When I say that now with a caveat, I don't have the right to be callous and go around not taking anybody else's feelings into account like a sociopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you're responsible for how you react to things and how you feel about things, just like I'm responsible for how I react to things and I feel about things. And when you know you hurt somebody's feelings, you need to own it, say you're sorry, and then try to be a better person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the moral of this story with Rogue, right? Regardless of whether that other person accepts it or not, you did all you can do, right? The rest is on them. Now you have to deal with how you feel about that and accept it and move forward. And I just thought that that was just such a positive note, and a realistic more so than positive, right? I mean, I do think it was a positive message, but it was also very realistic, especially in this society, in this day and age, where we are so polarized and so less forgiving than we used to be for the slightest offenses, right? When you just say, anyway, enough of that tangent. You, my dear, that was it. I ended it. Rogue was it for me.
A lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Comics take you on journey.
Come with the Loco Sirens. We'll give you a semi therapy session.
Therapy.
Put all the years of therapy to use, right? All right, my dear Krysta, you are up, darling. Show us your picks for the week.
All righty. So it's not one of my picks, but I just want to show the cover because I love it so much.
Okay.
I forgot to show you this in the pre-show. So for Lobo #3, I just love this Bermejo cover.
Oh my God.
I Bite Fanboys.
If I had seen that in the catalog, I think I would have ordered it. That is amazing.
I love dogs so much. I love his little like bounty hunting dog, and I loved this. I loved this cover so much.
Yeah,
it's good Bermejo.
Yeah, no, I love the cover. I could not stand the story, but I do love the cover. I could barely get through Lobo #1. It was just so, for me, it was just so bad. I'm with Fuzzy Ewok. I'm just like, no, there's something. I don't even want to see Jason Momoa as him. So it's going to ruin Jason Momoa for me.
Are you just not a Lobo fan?
I am totally not a Lobo fan.
Ooh, okay.
And I gave #1 a chance. I bought #1 because it got really hyped up on the next level stuff, and so okay, I'll try it. No, that it reinforced to me I am not a Lobo fan at all.
Solid. That's absolutely
fair, right. Fair. Can't be a fan of everything.
Yeah. I love Lobo. Lobo is just pure, chaos. I think he's fun.
Yeah.
But you're so valid. Like he's definitely so extreme. He is just so extreme that I can see. It's kind of like how some people don't like Deadpool because he's so much.
Actually, I feel exactly, that's me with Deadpool. I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and the breaking, which is funny because I don't care that She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall. Doesn't bother me, but it bothers me that Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. So I don't know. Maybe it's the way they break the fourth wall. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very Looney Tunes, and I don't know. It's very my sense of humor and a lot of like pop culture I ingested as a kid. I really enjoyed. It was very like Ferris Bueller to me.
Well, Lobo featured very prominently in the animated Superman.
Yeah.
So which played on TV when you were growing up.
Yeah.
So I can see where how you could, you know what I mean, how he could, because he did feature so much in the TV show, in the
He was.
animated.
He's in a lot of things. He's also just a lot of characteristics he has are things that I enjoy in characters. He's a little he's masculine, but he's not too toxic, which a lot of characters who look like him could be super, super toxic. He is just therefore fun, and he's just crazy with like a motorcycle, and his dog.
Yeah, I do like the motorcycle. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
cosmic. His
Yeah.
cosmic motorcycle is pretty
He's
cool.
a
I
crazy
have to give
little
him that.
alien.
Yeah.
I enjoy him. I love Jason Momoa, so I'm looking forward to that. But I
Are
also,
you?
I
Yeah.
love Jason Momoa. Love Jason
I
Momoa. But
saw a preview. Well, I guess you saw. Well, we're going to talk about this at the end. You saw the Supergirl preview, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I have to admit, it looked more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
I'm
With
so
that preview.
excited for her movie.
Yeah. So, especially if it's really going to be like this focus on her and the dog. I'm such a sucker for that story. Right. So, or
I'm
that
gonna
trope,
cry.
I should say, a girl and her dog, or a girl on a horse. That's a trope that I'll buy into that anytime. All right.
All
So,
right. Back to comics.
yes.
So we talked about it earlier. So I also have Green Arrow, but I did
Lotte cover.
Lotte cover.
I love that cover so much.
If you follow Comic Logic on Instagram or Facebook, you will see that we made a post last Wednesday where John and I recreated this cover.
Let me see if I can grab that actually.
You were making a post about all of our top picks, and I thought it'd be funny if John and I recreated this image.
Yes, there it is. Hold on, I'm grabbing it right now. Oops. Back over here. All right. Yeah, you guys did a really good job. I chuckled to myself when I saw it. Okay, guys, give us 10 more seconds. There it is. Here we go. There's John and Krysta
And I'm so short.
recreating. You needed red eyes, dear.
I know.
But the green hair
The hair helped.
totally gave off the green light. It was awesome.
It's funny that I'm so short, so I had to stand on the step stool to be taller than John.
I was wondering how you got taller than him. You cheated.
I did. Oh yeah.
Hey.
No, if you look at the bottom of the picture, you can totally see him on a step stool. It's hilarious.
Why did I just do it? Oh my God.
Did you just delete it already?
Accidentally.
That's all right.
I was clicking. No, I mean, it's right here. It doesn't take that long. I just can't believe it. There it goes. All right, one more time. Yeah, oh yeah, you could totally. I didn't even notice it. See, you shouldn't have said anything. I didn't even notice it.
I think it's funny. I think it's funnier that like you can.
That you're having to stand. Hey, it's like me when you guys give me grief for I can't see when you put all the the special variants up on the top. I have to like stand all the way back.
Oh, I do too. I work there.
See that.
I work there, and I'm like, guys, short people are like we're used to looking up, but if it's like if I have to look too far up, I'm not gonna do it.
No, man, I don't want to hurt my neck.
That's why we encourage people to take a step back so you can
to get the whole view.
Yeah.
All right. So,
alrighty. Moving on. So another one we've already talked about was, of course, what we're going to be talking about later tonight is going to be Sirens.
I love it. I love his art so much. The hair. It's like she's making a heart with her hair. It's such a great cover.
It's so cute.
Yep.
I love her tights, and her boots are everything.
Yeah, everything. It's
They
so
made her,
good.
they made her very, very thick, and she looks
Mhm.
so powerful, and
Yep.
I love her so much.
Yes.
Next is gonna be Narco. It is
Oh, this
Narco
is
number 3.
3.
I love this series. Have you read it at all?
I have not. I said no when Rob described to me what it was. He was like, that it was horror. I was like, I have enough horror right now. So
it's like soft horror though. It's like
okay.
this
It's
is like
not
a
hard
murder
horror.
mystery. This
Okay.
guy is narcoleptic, and he's had a crush on this girl.
Wait. A narcoleptic is somebody who wants to be with a dead person.
No, he's constantly falls asleep.
Oh, narcolepsy is when you fall when you.
Narco, not necrophilia.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I was thinking okay, so well, that changes the whole perception for me, because this whole time I've been thinking it was somebody that wanted to be with dead people. So
No. So this is, so you know how like there's an actual, you can actually, it's like a disease where you actually
yes,
are
no,
prone
I
to
actually knew
sleep.
somebody that had it years ago.
Then you should know the name.
I mean, yes, I probably should have known the name.
I love you so much.
But I didn't put it together. But there was like when I worked at oh my god, I can't even remember the name of the company, but it was down in the toilet bowl building down in Vienna back in the 90s and early 2000s, and he would just doze off on his desk, but when his head would hit his shoulder, it would wake him up.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
So this guy has he's falling asleep, and he is supposed to go on this date with this girl that he's had a crush on for a long time, and
totally true, Fuzzy.
thank
You are totally true. Oh my god.
Anyway,
Woo! Okay.
so there's a murder mystery essentially in it,
Okay.
because the girl dies and he's the number one suspect, but he was asleep, but he has no proof that he was asleep, so he is trying to solve the murder. You're trying to figure out what happened and who's after her. I'm going to stop talking about it now. It's very, very good. It's by Doug Wagner, and I love his stuff.
Okay.
Moving on. Sorry, that threw me now.
Narcolepsy, which is falling asleep.
You're getting therapy and vocabulary lessons.
It's a loco night on the Loco Sirens.
Emphasis on loco. Good God. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, all right. Final number 5 is Nectar.
Oh yes.
This cover
was so good.
I
was bad because I did not I didn't get the A cover. They didn't put it in my box. So I was just like, I'm getting this other cover. I'm getting the woohoo cover. The woohoo cover.
I got the spicy cover too, but I knew you were showing it. I get every cover.
Do you? There was another one besides that was, because weren't there 3? I think.
Covers?
Yes. Yeah. Or was it just the 2?
There were just 2. There was A and a B cover, and then there were ratios.
Wait, the Virgin one was on the wall already behind the register, like behind that counter where the on the wall.
Those were ones from previous. Those were previous.
Really? Because it looked just like the one that I have.
It's very similar.
Okay. But it was actually number 2, is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it was a reprint of number 2, but it was a ratio.
Gotcha. No, I get you.
But yeah, Nectar's so good. It's this issue went crazy. That very last like moment was crazy.
Yeah.
I love how it's getting really into like the plague and how like it's affecting everyone's mind, but there's a lot of religious, not just the fact that like the people from the church are getting involved, but a lot of like kind of religious metaphors with
so many.
Well, the first time you saw the butterflies, they were coming out of a sarcophagus. They were coming out of like this like grave digger. Like they broke out of this coffin.
Yeah.
So and then they just started infecting everybody slowly and then all at once.
Yes.
So good. The art is gorgeous.
Oh, it reminds me of Becky Cloonan's art.
It's very, very on par with Becky.
Yes, because the whole comic is similar in feel to Somna, as far as atmosphere and art and the style of art. It reminds me very much of that.
But like, look at that.
I know, that was so.
Sorry, graphic warning.
Yes, that was just the other one too. Towards the back. Where is it?
Some of this is like real bloody, so I'm trying to be careful with
yeah. Where is that? The very final page.
Yeah, that one. Oh,
that just like whoa,
so good.
And then we don't want to show that because that's a spoiler. There was another one where they showed the this one.
Yeah,
it was just like wow,
just like the coloring. I'm really loving the bright pop of orange from these butterflies. Is such a very unique
color. They're gorgeous. They are positively gorgeous. Deadly, but gorgeous.
You're used to like red and like even like browns mixed with like normal gothic colors, but something like bright neon orange is just stunning. It's just the coloring and palette is so good.
Yes.
The story is so good. I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
I'm loving that story.
It really, really, really is a great story. Now, is that ongoing or is that going to be a limited 4 or 5?
That's limited. I'm pretty sure there's only 4 issues. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so we only have one more, which
I think so.
Given how this one ended, I could see them wrapping it up in one more.
Yeah, I think I read in the back that it said that like the next one is gonna be like the final one.
Yeah. So this month, White Sky is ending, right? Because we're getting 4 of that.
Yeah.
Ordained is ending. Well, we might not be getting Ordained until next month.
Yeah, I think that
Ordained 3. I don't think it comes out till June, but that one's ending. So many are ending. Okay, which takes us right to Sirens, Loves Hurts, number 4. Speaking of series that are ending. Wow. There's the A cover. Now, I just hold up. It is so good. I'm so glad that I got all 3 of these covers, right? That I've gotten all the A covers. Babstar has just knocked these women out of the park with how she has done the art. I love the cartoony style, like you said, but at the same time, when we say cartoony style, it is that, but yet these are very sophisticated women. I love that Dinah is wearing a collar.
Yes.
The whole time. Like, I want to know if her and Ollie have a BDSM relationship. Because she's literally wearing a locked collar. With her necklace in all 4 issues is a chain connected to a tiny, a very small. It's a very common collar in the community.
It is. Oh no, it definitely is. And
anybody who knows me knows I was in the community for almost a decade. I actually had a master for 8 years, and so I recognized that immediately. And
I do too.
now, seriously, it makes me now want to go back and read like every comic I can find about Black Canary and Ollie and find out if they had a BDSM relationship.
I mean, the way that this one was written, the way that they were written in this, I can definitely see it.
Yes, except that I would have put her as the top and him as the sub.
Well, that's the thing about we're doing so many different topics tonight. I love it. Like between therapy, we're educating you guys on so many different things that are not comic related.
I know, but they are comic related because we're talking about the fact that Black Canary is wearing a collar. There it is in all of its glory, and it's been on her neck in every issue.
But one of the things, building on what you were saying about the community, is it's such a release. So how you are in your normal life is not necessarily how you are in play, because you could be like, so she is so used to being very like in charge and dominant, and he, as we have seen, he is very submissive to her. He is very like pretty birdie. He loves her and everything. But he does use pet names.
He does,
like pretty birdie.
Yeah.
And he is like,
I don't think in all 4 issues he's called her by her name.
No.
So the question for Teeny and Babs, because they're the ones who wrote it, I would love to interview them. Teeny and Babs, if you're watching, we would love to interview you because we have questions, these kind of questions that only you can answer. It just struck me as funny because I could actually see Harley wearing that.
Yeah.
With Pam. But moving on from our Ollie and Dinah in a BDSM or DS.
I could talk all night about it, so we should probably move on.
Yes. So we don't want to bore our readers. This issue really wrapped up the story beautifully.
I'm surprised how well it wrapped up, because I was nervous. I'm like, there's so much that they need to wrap up, but they actually did a really good job.
They did it in such a good way.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this all along. And we knew from issue 3 that the girls are now going to be, the Sirens are now going to be Dinah's bridesmaids, instead of, she basically fired everybody but Babs that were going to be her bridesmaids, because they're certain that the horoscope killer is gonna.
Let me see if I can get the shot of it.
Oh yeah, it's so hard to read. I don't know why they're so hard to read, but I love that. It was such a great shot. Our wedding dress was so pretty, and she was in combat boots. So Dinah, I loved the little interlude. So I love Ollie questioning, are you really sure you want these women as your bridesmaids? Right?
Yeah, he was so unsure.
The whole Justice League is going to be there. I love how Babs was kind of upset, but then totally came around at the end, right? I love how Dick didn't lose his job in the wedding plan either. Babs and Dick were the only two that didn't to take the whole little interlude with Batman and Catwoman.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Mwah! Oh,
that was really cute. I loved that,
darling. And
he was like, I thought it was a game. I thought like you knew who I was.
Yeah. So this, adorable. Yeah, it was. So I'm gonna read this excerpt because this is about the wedding. I know that. Sulk anywhere. Bruce Wayne. How long were you going to make a damn fool out of me, pretending to be 2 different men, you sick? What? I thought you knew. I thought that was our game. Selena, I would never lie to you like that. clearly miscalculated. And she stormed off.
But
the revelation that she has, it's just like, so
but later on when they
the little I know that Sulk Anywhere panel.
he's like, oh God, but her face is so good.
That's our game.
But later on when they actually get to talk again,
it was so romantic.
Oh my God, it's so cute. Because she's like, Batman, when I like a man, I give him 1 second chance. With there being 2 of you, you have burned through both. And he's like, you're the smartest woman I've ever met. I would never try to trick you. I assumed you knew because I wanted you to know, because it was exciting to play that game. And she's like, yes, some detective you are. Like, they're just, I love that he genuinely was like, I thought this was what we were doing. Like, I knew who you were, and I thought you knew who I was, and we were just playing the game. I thought that was such a cute way to kind of like make that happen. And
I love, so all of our girls got that. So there is
Harley and Ivy.
Oh my, I was just gonna say, your girls. Oh my God.
My sweet baby.
The whole thing between Pam and Harley. I had tears in my eyes.
I know.
I missed it up. So it was like, oh my gosh. So good.
They're so
Dinah and Ollie got theirs, right? Like after the whole like they, back to our discussion at the beginning. Again, totally true, Fuzzy Ewok guys are dumb unless it's spelled out. We'll miss it. Totally have a point. Not that I'm knocking men, because I love, I'm not knocking men, but they can be a little dense sometimes. And Ollie was a little dense in this, but the fact that he was all kind of just like, whatever you need, honey, was also like,
I will say the entire series, Ollie was very much like, whatever you need.
Just yep, whatever you need, honey. Tell me what you want me to do. Can I help you? I thought we were gonna go riding in costume in our masks.
kind of ties back to that conversation about the necklace from earlier.
Yes.
He's very eager to help.
Good point.
I'm not against it. I support it.
100%.
I think that'd be really good.
Community, man.
Wouldn't be the first one. Do you know, like, we all know about the writing origins of Wonder Woman.
Oh yes.
No shame in it.
Love how I love they come in and the Justice League tries to go after them all.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought that was really cute. But I also really liked how they took down Horoscope. Like they were ready. She had been ahead of them in all these. They were ready for her this time. And everything went like clockwork. And I love the fact that they had this big, huge brawl with the Justice League before Dinah's like, stop! They're my friends.
She's the one who has to go and tell them to stop.
Yes, and she had to do it in her sonic cry. Right? Wait, yeah, there it is. In the sonic cry, they're my friends. But that's when Babs was kind of like, huh. And there was this moment towards the end where Babs was like, I had some information and I was starting to but you guys really did beat me too. You know what I mean? Like she was admitting that they did it better than she could have. And I thought that was a big thing, you know.
Yeah.
Really, really, really loved that the marriage went on. That now this is when Selena and Bruce now know. So this in the continuity has got to be pre-Hush. Because they knew in Hush, right?
Yeah.
Because we know in Hush, with the truth that just came out with Batman and Wonder Woman, they've established that it was during the Hush storyline that so yeah, I think that this is like right before. Anyway, they did so. I'm so sad that this is over. However, I love that they're on Teeny Howard's Instagram today. She was thanking everybody that they had worked with and how much fun they had and all the great feedback that they had gotten. And she said at the very end, she was like, for all of you that have said that this isn't enough and you want more, heard, period. Right? So maybe, I mean, they've been giving us a siren story a year. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Let them do this again. You hear that, DC? Please let these two women keep doing this. I'm okay with once a year. I'm okay with 4 issues, but give us more. And I would love to see different team ups. Wouldn't you? Like, I would like to see the Gotham City Sirens work with Babs. I'd like to see them work with Cassie. I'd like to see them work with
Cassie would be good.
Right? I'd like to see them work with Hawk Girl, or they're building up Hawk Girl for the movies, right? Supergirl, they're putting out that whole line of dolls.
Yeah.
Walmart, the Jax.
That's true.
Those Supergirl, which is so weird. Heroes and villains. They put out the 3 Gotham City Sirens and then Supergirl. Why not Batgirl? Even Batwoman. I don't understand. I know they're doing it for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, but it's very weird to take these 3 Gotham characters and then throw in a Metropolis character. But anyway, those dolls are really, really cool looking too. But that would even be a good story. Team them up with Supergirl, team them up with Vixen. Oh, that would be a really, really, really good one. Have Jon Stewart come out of nowhere to help them out. Isn't Vixen still with Jon Stewart or no?
I think so.
I think she is. So, anyway, so many potential, little hookups that you could do with the Sirens, right? Not that I don't love Black Canary with them. And I hope that this friendship, we get to see this friendship in the modern continuity somewhere, right? I would love to see it, like a nod back to, we did this once.
Yeah.
Anything? What do you want to add? Anything? Do you have anything to add?
Suspect, I'm sad that it's over. I thought
so sad.
I don't know. I like that a lot of it was communication. I thought they did such a good job on, like, literally everything was down to just talking to each other, and they did in such a healthy way at the very end. Everything from like Selena and Bruce, like, it was like a fun game that they were playing, but apparently only one of them thought that it was a game, and one had no idea that the game was even happening.
And then then you get to the, towards the end, and there's like this deep, deep emotional conversation between Harley and Ivy.
Yeah, where because Ivy didn't know, or Harley didn't know, that they were like being completely like exclusive, and she's like, I didn't know that you liked me that much, and she was like, I don't understand So they had a very nice conversation. And I think Harley even says, like, oh my God, how does she word it? She was like, I'm like butt crazy for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you I'm butt crazy in love with you.
In love with you.
Yeah.
But I love that she's like, I hope as long as, you don't care that I'm a total houseplant sometimes. And she's like, not if you don't care that I'm a total clown.
Yes, it was so romantic.
And they're so good. Like, because they accept each other for what they deem as their faults. Like, Harley knows that she's just an absolute chaotic person.
Yes.
And Ivy knows that she is very neurotic and kind of a loner, but they bring out the best in each other, and they learned that along the way.
They do. Harley kind of reminds me of the relationship between the guys in the Rolling Stones, Keith Richard and Mick Jagger. So Mick Jagger lives like, he's like ultra healthy and he's vegan and juices and cleanses and, no partying on tour and blah, 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 blah. And Keith Richards wrote a book, right? And in it, he said, sometimes Mick has to remind me I'm human. But sometimes I have to remind Mick that he's a rock star.
Yeah.
And to me, that's Harley and Ivy, right? Like, Harley reminds Pam sometimes that she's a strong, independent, amazing person, right? Because Pam doesn't always feel that, right? No. Because of her backstory and how she was turned into Poison Ivy and all that. And Harley, for Pam, accepts Harley for those crazy, but sees she respects the psychiatrist behind the clown, but she loves the clown as much as she loves the psychiatrist behind the clown. So I think that they really, like you said, they build each other up, and where one has weaknesses, the other's strengths kind of sit, you know what I mean? They balance each other out really well, which is why I'm so devastated that they have been broken up in the main continuity. They very, very, very end.
They just keep breaking them up because it's interesting to see how they bloom away and then they come back together stronger.
Yes, but what is it? Don't get me, I understand, I'm a writer. I understand the concept of drama. And I understand that sometimes couples can get boring. Superman and Lois have not ever been boring. Ollie and Dinah, never been boring. Flash and what's her name?
Iris.
Is it Iris? I knew it was a flower. Never boring. Jon Stewart and Hawk Girl and Hawkman, never boring. Right? Remy and Rogue are never boring.
It's the Spider-Man conundrum. Spider-Man is never allowed to be happy.
Spider-Man and Batman, they will not let them.
Not allowed to be happy.
They're not allowed to be happy. I understand the concept of these two characters were created out of tragedy, and like Angel, if they have that moment of true happiness, their soul is going to explode and they're going to become evil and jealous, right? That's literally, it's like they won't be able to be Spider-Man and Batman if they find true happiness. Bullshit.
You can also, I agree, but you can also look at it this way. If we saw them in one timeline where they're forever happy, that would get old. But seeing a couple fall in love in multiple versions and multiple stories can be good.
Can be very good.
It's like that it's from Doctor Strange where I love you in every universe. So you see every single we've seen so many different writers, so many different artists, so many different like situations and universes of these couples, but Harley and Ivy almost always end up together. Selena and Bruce almost
always. I mean, you know, Talia did everything she could to keep Selena and Bruce apart, and she couldn't do it, you know. Which I actually right around, I want to say Detective 160, maybe 170. They did a great thing where Batman, he had been out in space and had to fight a version of himself, and he got really, 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 really injured and mentally was almost broken. And this was, I want to say, in 2023. This storyline was happening in the detective line. And Selena is helping him, and she has to give him to Talia because Talia has to take him out into the desert, and they have to go on this big journey. And but the two women have this conversation, and she was like, Talia was like, I can't believe you're giving him to me. And Selena was like, let's be very clear. I am only giving him to you because, one, I know that you're the only other person on this earth that will do whatever it takes to keep him okay and alive for Damien. And then two, because you're the person that has to get him there, right? It was all because it's out in the desert. It's in, it's in her dad's, what is that? Oh my gosh, the name of the organization is totally escaping me, that she and her dad run, that Damien was supposed to be the heir of. League of Assassins, maybe something like that. Anyway, but Selena was like, but mark me, if he does not come out of this the way he is supposed to, I will hunt you to the end of my days.
Yep.
Now, and he did, and he comes back to Gotham. That actually happened like right before the Gotham War, right? But it was a powerful like 3 panels, right? Because it was these two women that knew that they had to work together to save his life, and they grudgingly acknowledged each other's place in his heart, in his life, because Natalia makes a snide remark about, well, obviously you didn't care enough to marry him, and I read an article years ago. I want to say it was during the Gotham War. So they were, having Bruce and Selena on two opposite sides for that. And while he was still recovering at home, right? Because he was still kind of out of commission for most of that. She was dealing with Robin or Nightwing, who was wearing the suit. And what was I going to say about that? I totally just lost my train of thought. Just went poof. Oh well, it's gone. Maybe it'll come back. I hate when that happens.
That happens to me all the time.
It happens to me the older I'm getting. But anyway, it's just it's terrible. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. This article was like the reason that Tom King didn't allow them to get married, and the reason that they did the whole Gotham War is that for the start of All In, which happened right around 2023, mid 2023, they wanted it clear that Batman's real true love is not Selena. It's not Andrea Beaumont. It's not Vicky Vale. It's none of that. It's Gotham City. And that's why he can't marry Selena, because his true love is always going to be Gotham City, and trying to make Gotham City to his ideal of what it should be. And I just find that kind of a cop out.
That is a cop out.
I mean, that article was like Jim Lee and a whole bunch of other people that were being interviewed. You know, I think Screen Rant did it a few, years ago, but a couple years ago. But I really just kind of felt that was a complete cop out, because he could still have that. And in fact, we got that in Batman Catwoman that Tom King wrote after he did the terrible thing about not marrying them and having her leave him at the altar. Then he wrote that 12-issue story where they do get married, right? And they do live happily ever after, but they don't stop being who they are, or their daughter wouldn't end up being Huntress in that, right? She takes over the mantle when he gets too old to do it anymore, similar to what they did in Batman Beyond, only instead of it being McGinnis, it's their daughter Helena Wayne, right? And then she becomes Batwoman rather than Huntress. But so that showed, and it was a good selling run, right? So that shows that they could have gotten married and still done all the same things that they're doing, and they're still playing cat and mouse. I mean, she hasn't featured a whole lot in the new Faction run, but he is featured a little bit in her run since Torun Gornsteck, I think is how you pronounce it.
I know who you're talking about.
Took over and started writing it. He's appeared a couple of times in that. They're still basically on again, off again in the Detective Comics. But in Matt Factions, he's been dealing with this doctor whose name is I think it might be Andrea. It's an A name, but it's not Beaumont. But Jorge Manez is drawing her to be a carbon copy of Selena. She's fit, she's got long black curly hair, she's got the same skin tone. I mean, literally same body type, everything. She's like, even though they put her in a white coat and said she was the doctor, she could have been Selena. In far as what I laughed when I read it, because I was like, well, Bruce has a type. She didn't end up being they played it off like she was going to be a love interest in the first few issues, and she turned out to be
she was a red herring.
Yeah, she's not really a villain, but she's definitely not going to be a love interest anymore, given what's going on in the comic now. So, but I do like the new villain female character who we don't have her name yet. The Asian, she's pretty cool in the Batman. She reminds me of the youngest of the prostitutes in Sin City. The one that was so deadly with the blade, but she hardly ever spoke, and she was the youngest of them all. But she was the most deadly with the blade. She had that really blonde hair. Reminds me a lot of that as a character. But I'm interested to see where they're going to go with that. But back to Sirens before we totally lose track. I totally, totally love how they ended it. Wrapped everything up in a bow, and that final 2 pages where they're back at their restaurant, and all the women who work in that restaurant, that whole little, we all asked to be here because we just wanted to thank you. And I thought
it was so cool. Girl
so
power.
Cool. Yeah, women power. Yes, women power. was so good, and it was such a top-notch note to end on, because those were the final 2 pages of basically these 4 women getting a standing ovation from the everyday women of Gotham. And wow, just says it all right there, you know? And I think that that's it for everything I have to say on Sirens. I see you picked it up again. What are you looking for?
I was looking at, so in the very last page, you see this character. I don't know if I can get it. Like this woman.
Yes.
So the stripes on her sleeve are, so they are pink, white, and blue. And I'm like, I wonder if she's supposed to be trans.
Oh,
that would be really cool. Like
that would be a little
women.
nice little nod.
Yeah,
little
so that was
Easter egg homage there.
That was something that I was thinking about when I was reading it.
Another reason we need to be bolder and continue to comment on Teeny and Babs's Instagrams and
I want to know,
and encourage, because this is another question for them.
Yeah,
did you hide this in plain sight?
Yeah, was that like a little hidden thing that character is a trans
just
woman?
like, did you hide the fact that Ollie and Dinah are in a DS relationship?
Yeah, I want to know.
Quietly through this whole series with the little collar. Telling you, they're tripping us up. They're giving us little Easter eggs and leaving it to us to figure out.
I got my personal canon. I think they are.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into talking about our one pop culture. We talk about something, whether it's an article or something that we've both seen. So tonight we are going to talk about Mandalorian and Grogu. I saw it this afternoon. Krysta saw it Thursday. Wow. I almost bought one of those at Walmart the other day. I almost couldn't pass it up. I do not have a Grogu here.
I have several Grogus.
No Grogu. Such a great movie, guys. If you love the TV show, you will love this movie. If you are expecting it to be like the 3 Star Wars movies before, or even the 9 Star Wars movies of George Lucas, it's not that.
Very different vibe. It feels a lot like spoiler free. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, I promise. It feels because a lot of people have not watched it, because the movie just came out, so I'm not gonna do spoilers.
Yep.
It did feel a lot like the TV show in the best way.
Yes, it was like a 2-hour season finale. Only it stands alone.
Like an entire story arc. They put into one.
But like everything, right? You get an independent story that they took the time to tell right.
Yeah.
There are so many callbacks to Rebels on more than one level, right?
It's made me very happy.
Sigourney Weaver, I was skeptical. She's so good.
I love that woman in anything she touches.
I want to know who did the voice of Rada.
Jeremy Allen White.
Okay.
From The Bear.
Yes. Okay. And
Grogu just ran away.
Whoever's doing the voice of Zeb, same guy from the show, from the cartoon.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
And I don't know who that is either. I apologize to the actor for not knowing your name.
He's amazing. I love Zeb so much.
Oh my gosh. And this is not a spoiler, but they were so true to his character. If you've seen Rebels, you will love his inclusion.
Yeah, he literally felt like the TV show version. He really felt like how he did in Rebels.
I never once questioned
that
what he looked like, what he sounded like, his fighting style. You've seen it. And they were so true to that. You know? There were just so many wonderful moments too. throughout the
No.
whole thing. Again, we're not going to spoil anything because it is, basically it's only been out for 2.5 days. But there are just some real feel good moments. There are some laugh out loud moments. There are some edge of your seat moments. It is literally, if you are a fan of the show, you are going to love this movie. Do you agree?
I completely agree. It was, I don't want to say feel good, but it felt like a classic, like, I hate to use the word classic, but it felt like a classic action movie, like back with
How's the Star Wars? Blockies just built my first one. It's a solid posable figure. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
But it felt kind of how it was with like the Indiana Jones movies back in the day. Like, it had that kind of vibe of like that kind of like that. It was like
almost like you're on not a scary roller coaster, but one of the fun roller coasters where there's
it literally felt like a ride you were
just
on.
You don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh man. So I don't know. It was so much fun. It was I really enjoyed it. And I think one of the things I really like about Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian world within Star Wars, is it feels like a Western.
Yes.
So you go through all the like trauma through the Western where, like who the bad guys are, and you have like the lone person coming in to try to like save the day, and then
the sound, the sound that they make, that dude, I can't.
The theme music. Yeah.
Yes. It's a Western sound. You hear that in the old Westerns when the guy's going to open the doors to the saloon,
It's had that from the TV show back from episode 1, and also the soundtrack in this one kind of slaps.
Yes,
like it was really good. Like
it was really good,
really, really good.
Absolutely.
So like everything was on point.
Special effects were good.
Special effects were very good. The CGI, actually, I wasn't that upset about. I was burned when I saw the trailer, but it did a really, really good job.
There was only a couple of places in the swamp, and that's that's not really giving anything too much away. You know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. There's a couple of times you see the creatures of the swamp that this CGI wasn't maybe
perfect.
Yeah, but it's so brief, and really only somebody that has an eye. And I'm one of those people that I'm always looking for the wire, if that makes any sense. I'm always, in TV shows when they're flying, I'm like, where's the wire? And that's really the only complaint I have. Where did you see it?
So I went to Regal in Dulles Town Center. I don't normally go there. I haven't been there in years, but I went there because I took my dad is he's handicapped. He has like mobility issues and needs like walking canes, and he has a hard time walking places. So he doesn't go to the movies very often. Right. The last time he went and saw a movie was Endgame.
Oh my gosh.
The last time he saw a movie in theaters. Anytime there's like a movie and I'm like, hey, like, do you want to go see this movie? He's like, I'll wait until it's streaming. Yeah. This movie, I mentioned to him a while ago where I was like, hey, I'm looking getting tickets. I'm just going to shoot my shot. Do you want to go see it? And he was like, absolutely. What day is it coming out? And I was like, whoa. So long story short, we went to Regal because Regal has a ramp and the seats recline, and he is. So I normally go to Alamo in Ashburn.
That was my first time there tonight. We went there and I really liked it. So I got really spoiled in Wenatchee. They, the big theater chain in Washington, at least in the eastern part of the state, and the central, is Sun Basin Theaters. And the local multiplex in Wenatchee, 12 screens, but two of those 12 screens are VIP room, which is only 21. Order drinks, order food, they bring it out. And then, you can watch all these movies without any children in the theater,
nice.
And and I got spoiled because we started only going to that, right? I don't drink, but I liked being able to get the better food.
Yeah.
And not having the kids yelling in a theater or whatever. And so my family was like, oh, you got to go to the Alamo. So we went. John had been there before, but I had never been there before. And the thing that they did different from the VIP spot is they have those tables at every 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Tables there. I loved that because in the VIP spot, while granted, yes, the arms are a little wider to put all your, but you still have to put all your stuff on the arm of the chair.
Ooh,
right.
yeah.
And no, I loved having the table. Prices for food were a little, ridiculously expensive, but and it doesn't matter what movie theater you go to for that. Great sound system. The screen was great. I definitely will be going to see more movies at the Alamo.
Yeah,
I actually haven't found any parking close because it's the only complaint I have about One Loudon. 90% of the parking is 30-minute or only around the movie theater. Now, I understand you don't want people parking and leaving their cars there for hours on end around all those shops and everything, but the parking lot section that's got 30 spaces over to the, like, if you're facing the Alamo, over to the right, over half of those spaces are 30-minute only. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And they only had 2 handicap. 2 in that whole section. So we had to go all the way down to the parking garage. But as I have a handicap plate, so at least we were able to park right there at the door because there was plenty of handicap there. But it was still a walk all the way down to the Alamo. So, that would be my only complaint about the experience today. But the food was excellent. I had I love fried pickles. And, normally they're little chips, right?
Yeah.
At the Alamo, there are these
they do the wedges
that are like this long.
Yeah,
and they were so good. Oh. And then John got the chicken tenders with the hot honey sauce, and he said that it was delicious. So
I don't know how good
we were very pleased with the food. And
I like the cheese fries.
Yeah, I ordered a small popcorn, thinking I'm gonna get the little bag. Oh no, they brought out a bowl that I would have, if we had been home, I would have taken half that bowl and put it in another bowl for somebody else, Oh yeah, I could not believe, I felt bad leaving so much popcorn in that bowl, because I barely made a dent in it. Yeah. But everything, I mean, the atmosphere was nice, the seats were comfortable, they rock, they recline a little bit. I was able to have my drink, in the little cup thing right there, so I didn't have to constantly reach up to the table. So yeah, loved it. And the movie was very, very, I was just disappointed that there was no end credit scene. I'm so used to end credit scenes now.
We're conditioned with Marvel.
Yep, we really are. Yeah.
And then you see the Lucas films, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's nothing.
Yeah, I looked it up as John was in the bathroom. And I was like, before we walked too far away from the theater, credits were still rolling. I was like, I'm going to look it up and see if there's an end credit scene just so I can step back in there if there is. But they said there wasn't. So
no end credit.
But no, now I'm very much looking forward to what Dave Filoni is going to do with Ahsoka season 2, with I guess they're going to combine the stuff with Rebels and with Ahsoka, but I'm interested to see this crossover movie that's supposed to wrap this all up.
Yeah.
Right. But are we gonna? I'm curious. I'm not asking you to answer this question, but I'm curious. Are we gonna get the shows, then the movie? Are we gonna get a show, the movie, and then a show? However, they're gonna do it, because they have to wrap up Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian, which they're planning to do in a movie.
Yeah.
So I would think we would get, you know, I would think that we would get at least one, you know, some of the seasons before that. I have not watched it. I think
I did.
Yeah, I was to say, I think Krysta's watched it, Fuzzy Ewok. I have not. That's the mall, right? That's the new mall story.
For everything.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so darling.
If I like it, I have a plushie for it.
Oh my gosh. Do I have any plushies? I do not own a single plushie. I own tons of stuffed animals, though.
I'm a plushie person.
You got oh my God, and an oh my God. But you have blown Fuzzy Ewok's mind. I've heard really good things.
It was so good.
Things, but I have not watched it yet.
It was so good.
Yeah. So tell me, does it continue? Where is it in relation to what happens with Darth Maul in Rebels? Don't spoil it for me, but you know how he goes on that whole thing with Ezra as his apprentice, right?
So this takes place, this is Maul before Rebels.
Oh, before, is it him before Phantom Menace?
No.
Or after. So it's after Phantom Menace, but before Rebels. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to watch it.
So good. And
so Fuzzy Ewok says the soundtrack for it is just buildingly intense.
It's so good. The soundtrack is amazing.
I have a Koosh Jurassic Park dino, and I have also the plushies of a dino. Oh,
I'm not surprised.
Oh, and it's before the Han Solo movie. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I need to watch it. I've got it and I got to finish Punisher. Did you hear me talking to Gary about it on Wednesday? Punisher really upset me. Now, I know Frank Castle is going to be violent. I know Punisher show is going to be violent. I know that they are getting down and dirty with these street shows, but the first 5 minutes of Punisher bothered me so much that I watched another like 8 minutes, and then I had to stop it because what bothered me had nothing to do with anything it was gratuitous violence that I really felt was no reason. Yeah. So I have to watch Shadow Lord. I got to finish Punisher, and I'm still trying to get through my 2 seasons. I've got the first season done. I'm actually rewatching the 1969's Josie and the Pussycats. Ooh. I'm now in Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. Nice. So, and I have, I think, like 10 more. But they're only like 20 minutes. So you get through those quick. How many of this Shadow Lord are there?
So there's like 8 or 10 episodes.
Okay. Because you never know with Disney. Sometimes it can be 6, sometimes it can be 8, sometimes it can be 10.
I don't know. There's also a Shadow of Maul comic out right now that I have actually showed before.
Yes, and I did know that.
This was the cover last week.
Oh, sad.
So they're doing throughout all the Star Wars current running series, they're doing not random, but
Fuzzy Ewok says 10 episodes.
I thought it was 10.
Yeah.
They're doing different each series gets one Mandalorian and Grogu cover. So
so then you get them all, and then you'll have them all eventually by having the different. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
They did Mando. So they did one that was Grogu meditating.
I think I saw that cover, didn't you? I think you showed it on here.
I've shown it. I have that one. I have the one that is Mando and Grogu. I showed that, I think, last week or before last week.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. So there's that one. There's this one, and then next week is going to be with Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Because I need all of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I could completely relate. You know how I am about when they do covers like that. Although I won't, so like with those April Drools, right? I didn't bother with the ones that they did like for Superman, right? But if it comes in, if they have those special ones, I want them in all the titles that I get if they have it, you know?
Yeah.
So going back to Punisher, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it because it's in the first 2 minutes, so I really don't feel like it's that much of a spoiler when they put it right there at the beginning. So obviously they're trying to prove how terrible New York is. This is obviously happening. He's escaped from Kingpin, but I believe that it's technically happening prior to Daredevil Born Again season 2. And I know it's also prior to whatever movie is coming out, right?
Spider-Man brand new
that's coming out for Spider-Man that he's going to be in. But it's this scene of these assholes, couple of skinheads, you know, they got Nazi tattoos and spiked hair or no hair. And they're walking down a street in New York, and they're just, you know, they're pushing people out of their way and grabbing things from kiosks, that kind of thing, right? Well, then the screen shifts to a homeless guy and his dog, and they're just walking down the street, and he finds his little corner. You can tell it's a place where he sits up all the time. And he puts down his dog's bowl, and he feeds his dog. And these guys come out of nowhere and start harassing and bullying the guy. And the leader grabs the dog and starts walking away while all of his buddies are still bullying and beating up on the guy. And the guy's petting the dog and talking to the dog and walking down the street. And he throws the dog in front of a moving trash truck.
I think I heard that tail end of this conversation now that you're mentioning it.
And about you get the crunch and everything. And then it shifts to the guy who owns the dog, who is losing it well off. The question that got asked me at the store on Wednesday, well, obviously you got upset when they killed the dog on John Wick. No, yes, I am always upset when they kill a dog, okay, because I'm a dog person. However, on John Wick, they didn't show you the dog dying. They didn't make the noise of the dog dying aside from the gunshot, which they don't show you. They only show you the picture of the poor puppy laying on the ground and John Wick sitting there crying. Okay? Sad, horrible. Showing somebody throwing a dog in front of a moving vehicle and then giving the crunch of that vehicle running over the dog is too much. And it has nothing to do with anything going beyond that. It was like gratuitous violence to show how bad New York is. There's plenty of ways you can do that without taking an 8-pound dog and throwing it in front of a moving trash truck. It bothered me. And I watched another, maybe, like I said, 8-10 minutes to see if there was gonna, like, Frank's gonna come and do something to these assholes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're all waiting for, but no. Frank ignores it. So I was just kind of like, and all of this is in the first 3 minutes. And
yeah, it set the tone.
And it set a tone that made me not want to watch the rest of the episode, right? Because I just felt like that was gratuitous violence that was unnecessary, right? That to me, like if you were going to do something to where Frank is going to witness that and that is going to drive him to go on, okay, like John Wick, right? It was his pet. It was his last gift from his wife. It what drives the whole his
story,
the whole
his whole world.
Yes. And maybe I'm gonna get that because, like I said, I really didn't get much beyond that. I got two or three scenes beyond that to see if there was going to be any connection. And there wasn't. Like I said, he sees Frank is walking right past these guys right after they did that, and he completely ignores it. So that, and it really bothered me. I just felt that was just unnecessary. I get that this is a violent show. I get that this is going to be rated R. We know who Frank Castle is. Not even Frank is okay with people throwing dogs in front of trash trucks. And I just wasn't necessary. What did that do to the scene besides shock factor? And have we really stooped that low as a society that's the shock factor that we're going for on a Punisher show? I don't think we'd see that in a Punisher comic. I could be wrong. I don't read Punisher, but I don't think that you would see that in a comic. I could be wrong. After all, in Absolute Batman, Joker was made out of dead babies. And that bothered me too. In this last Absolute Batman 10, that one picture of the Joker sitting in that chair, all of those, that was disgusting. And it was probably not necessary, but at the same time, it left an, gives you that, wow, he is totally not human, right? But yet, I don't know. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it would be in the Punisher comic, and because look at what they did in Absolute Batman. But I just, in the show it really bothered me, and I haven't watched the rest yet. I will, because I'm kind of anal that way, and if I start something, I usually finish it. But it bothered me a lot.
I haven't gotten around to watching it. I've heard all the spoilers and everything about it just through osmosis, so I can't avoid it. I did hear about the dog thing. I mean, violence against animals is not really a new thing that tends to be like, I'm a cat lover. See, I love dogs, but I own cats. I'm a cat person.
Right.
Cats have been the butt of the joke since the dawn of time. You always see like,
oh yeah.
They swing a cat by the tail
or set it on fire and throw it off a building. Oh, will it land on its feet if I throw it off a 30-foot patio?
I mean, the cat from National Lampoon Christmas Vacation is the butt of the joke. They keep it in the box and it gets shaken around and it gets electrocuted under the couch. Yeah. Animal abuse and stuff has always been kind of like a part of like pop culture to show that people are not good people, but it's still kind of a joke.
Yeah, but good thing to put the quotes, right?
But I think it tends to be, they try to make it tongue in cheek, and I think in this I think they were trying to strike a chord relating almost to John Wick, where they're like, this is gonna be very violent just like John Wick, and we're going to show you how far we're going to go by showing the death of a dog, because we know that that's a deal breaker for a lot of people.
I
watch horror movies. I will watch someone getting completely shredded apart and their soul being destroyed. If you kick a dog, I will cry. I'm one of those people. So
Yeah.
like I
No,
love
I'm excited. Or a cat, even. You can mutilate a human body, but please leave the animals alone.
Oh yeah.
Which is terrible, but
but I also like animals way more than I like people.
yeah,
So it hurts me more when animals get hurt. People suffer all the time.
No, it's true. It's true. And as we were talking about, I mean, there's a way, I do think our society as a whole, I do think that there is an argument to be had about we have, on a whole, become not immune. Immune's not the right word. Jaded to violence as a whole. Right? We're bombarded with it everywhere, on our news, on our TV shows, in our movies, in our comics, in our books. It's everywhere, right? So right or wrong, we're not getting into that argument today. That's a whole nother show. Right? But I do think that there is this more lean towards showing that side of human nature, right? That violent side of human nature, more so in our media and all forms of, our media, than there used to be. And comics is actually a really good example for that, because that is one place where violence has been there from the beginning. Right? I mean, what did these superheroes do? They go out and they fight bad guys. They're constantly, what is Batman doing? He's constantly going and beating up people and arresting people, scaring people. So I don't think that it's a bad thing per se. I just think that it's getting worse. When I say worse, I mean we seem to be more jaded towards it than we used to be. And I think that that's a sad commentary on humanity in the 21st century, that we've become so immune, for lack of a better word. I know there's a better word for it, but it's totally not. What was that?
I think violence is becoming a little more normalized.
And we are desensitized to it because we're bombarded with it all the time.
And they're getting more creative with it. Think of like the Saw movies and stuff. They always had to get more creative with it.
Yeah,
there's a dog barking, and then the next scene, the T-Rex chomping on a chain. Exactly.
Yes.
I don't want to see or hear animals getting hurt.
No. We know it happens, but we don't need to see it. That's why I think actually John Wick, they handled it beautifully. Right? It was tragic. You knew it was happening. Right? You were crying. If you're like me, you were crying when he realized what happened to the dog. But you didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything. You just, and yes, it drives the rest of the movie, but you understand why it's driving him.
That's fair.
Right? Because if we had those skills, I'd probably do the same thing. If I had that skill set, I'd be wanting to do the same thing if somebody did that to my dog, Anyway, enough talk about violence against animals and human nature and sociological tendencies towards violence. Let's see. We've discussed Sirens. We discussed Mandalorian. Go see it. It's really good. And it's it's barely 2 hours, which I like, because we've gotten into these movies now. They're like 3 minutes, 3:15, 3.5 hours long. And they don't do what they did 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when they had movies that are when have an intermission. So you could go to the bathroom and have a smoke or whatever, They don't do that, and they expect you to sit there for 3.5 hours or 4 in some cases. I think the Odyssey's almost 4.
Yeah.
I really want to see that. Too.
I'm gonna see it.
I'm a huge Odyssey, Iliad, Homer fan, so
me too.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. We are not going to see Rocky Horror Picture Show as much as I would love to, because the myth that there are $30 tickets is a lie.
Oh yeah, no, the tickets are gonna be like $100 minimum.
No, up.
Oh, that's minimum, and that's if you're lucky you get scalpers.
For the bad seats, 258.
Yeah.
For the good seats, 500 and up.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could afford that. Oh, thank you, Kurt, so much. We love you too, Kurt. We love you. Kurt. Yeah, so that's way out of my price range. We have to wait for it to come on the road and come to some place that isn't going to be the Kennedy Center. Yeah. Maybe the Ford Theater. So I did see a really good review, though, that made the point about it being written to be in a 63-seat theater, and that when they put it in these huge theaters, they're doing it a disservice. Like, the production needs to be done in a small theater. So I did see a lot of highlights, and it looks amazing.
Several years ago, I saw, I don't know if you know, I don't know how well you know Broadway. One of my favorite musicals of all time is Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
I know it. Yeah.
I love it so much. So I saw that on Broadway several years ago. And then I saw it again when it was traveling. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it was traveling, it was in a big theater. And it had such a different vibe. And it didn't fully work for me. I'm like, I'm happy that it's doing so well that it was able to be at like a big, big like opera theater. But it didn't feel the same because that's such a like an intimate kind of.
Yes, it needs to be in those smaller seat theaters. That was this critic that I was watching on YouTube. That's what he was saying. He was like, this is a show that really needs to be in a 63, no more than 100. You lose something
69.
When you put it in one of these theaters that's 3,000, 4,000 seats. You lose the sound, you lose some of the, you lose that intimacy of a show. So we are not going to New York if it comes here, I would go see it here. If it goes on the road, and because I would like to see it. It does look good. Which is, again, not a comic subject, but we talk about other pop culture things besides comics.
I will say, Miss Lizzy, it has been over 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, we should probably wrap up then. So you can go eat. If I know you haven't eaten yet.
I have not eaten yet. I do need to go and eat.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap this up. Sorry, didn't mean to go to. Well, it's Sirens, and we went on lots of other tangents. So anyway, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching us. We are on Sunday nights, 7:30. Every Sunday. You can check us out on Facebook, Loco Sirens, and on YouTube at locosirens.com. Thank you for watching. We will be back next week to talk about what's coming out this coming Wednesday. Same siren time, same siren channel. See you in the funny papers, folks. Good night.